Hey soil peeps, welcome to the Garden of Deeden. I'm Dee, and today in the garden we are still doing our garden cleanup. Today is a planting day, so we are going to get some things planted that we have not started. Some things I like to start direct sown, but I'm also going to show you some of the stuff that I've sown already, and I'm going to go over a little bit of the winter sowing stuff too. Stay tuned. All right, here's my table outside of my house, and winter sowing is a good thing. I'm going to tell you, this year the weather and the rain and the flooding really affected my winter sowing plants. Now, like I said, tried and true is something that I swear by, but you know what? You just can't help when stuff pop up that you don't know about. But this is some stuff that I have sown outside in my yard, not in containers or anything. So we're going to re-sow some things. We did some beans here and nothing happened with the beans. There were some seeds that I got from a trade, but it's okay. We got more seeds. We're going to start them. This is my cucumbers. This is some watermelon. We're going to start some more watermelon seeds. This is some corn. See, this is what I'm saying. Started some corn seeds, put them all in this container, and guess what? Only 5 of them came up, but it's okay. It's still early for corn. And this is growing in here is my zinnias. And I think I popped in an alyssum because I was like, what is that little bitty thing right there? But it's sweet alyssum. See right there? Because like I said, a lot of stuff I did, it just did not, it just didn't do anything. So this is the basil. Now, looking at everything, we had so much water, I saw the yellowing, so I had started putting Epsom salt on things. Now this one is dry, but it hadn't always been dry, but this was part of that little lake of water that I had in my yard, and I mean, it just was crazy. This is some plants that a friend just gave me. So over here is some more of the winter sown things. These are some okra. I moved them over here because something was munching them over in the yard where I had them. This actually is some okra that I bought. And yes, I do buy plants because sometimes I come across something that I didn't have. And I heard the jambalaya okra was really good. And we stumbled across some at this nursery we went to. So all this is winter sown. And it looks really teensy and tiny. But guess what? It'll catch up in the garden. So I got some more stuff over here. Let's see. I up-potted them because I was trying to save them. This is Barry's Crazy. Now, I know I talk to y'all about berries a lot. Barry's is like a family friend. We have a couple of, what is those things? Lemongrass. The Texas Star Hibiscus did okay in winter sowing. And hold on, I'm going to go across the yard and show you some other stuff. All right, this is my Colorado yarrow. Got quite a few in there. And these are perennial. Let's see. And see, I thought they would be much bigger, but they're not. And that's okay, because everything doesn't start off as a bush. And this is some Rebecca, which I had a friend yesterday to give me some Rebecca from her yard. We went over, I got some stuff from her, some more wood chips. This is chimney Rebecca. And what I have drumstick and a couple other things. And so over here, sunflowers. We did sunflowers. And I also have, this is one of those pine berries. You can see the little seedlings in here. We actually started that from a strawberry that my daughter bought in the store. And what else? So our little onion. Our onions over here, this was winter sown. And the teensy-weensy, tiny-whiny thyme, that was started winter sown. Now, the thing about winter sowing is sometimes your stuff will not be big. A lot of times you see people opening containers and they have all this massive growth. But, you know, if it's lettuce or peas or something like that, sometimes you see that. But being in zone 7B and with our inconsistent weather, sometimes it's a challenge. But guess what? It's not a failure because this is my 3rd season. And like I told you, I've done it. I've seen when my stuff was little like this. And then come, you know, the end of April, the mid-May, you see a big turnaround. Okay, these are also winter sown, save for a pepper that I bought from my nursery, my local nursery, a Big Bertha pepper. I didn't have any of those. But see, these are really tiny. This one is really tiny. This is also winter sown here. This is winter sown. And guys, I'm not trying to make an excuse. I'm just saying it is what it is. Every season's not the same. But I do want you to trust the process, because maybe you're in a climate that is more consistent than mine. Now, if you have consistent cold and you didn't have all the fluctuations that I had, sure, you probably didn't have all the problems I had. But the flooding in my yard was something that was totally unexpected. And I had no idea that it was going to devastate the stuff I had on the ground, because, like I said, I've done this for a few years and this has not happened this time. But I do have some successes, and like I said, I want you to trust the process. So all of this was winter sown. Now, I transplanted and potted these maybe about 3 weeks ago. So I just want you to see the plants. Look how nice and big this tomato is. There's a couple of tomatoes in here, some sunflowers. There is okra in here. And all this was sown outside. These were in, I had them winter sown in this tote. Now these are some that I just up-potted. And see, they're really tiny, but these over here, they look the same when I up-potted them. And these are tomatoes and a couple of peppers. Now some of them, like I said, we had a lot of yellowing from all that water. And you know, in your regular garden, if you get a lot of rain, you got to go back in, you know, give them some Epsom salt and give them a little love so that the plants come back. But I just want you to be hopeful. Like I said, these look just like the same. And so give it some time and it'll step up. And all I did when I up-potted them was, of course, I got bigger pots and I put a little blood meal in the hole and then planted them in there. And look at these, all winter sown. Trust the process. Okay, this is in the garden bed, and this is a tomato that I put in the garden bed, and I call it direct winter sowing. And so I just used my cloche, sowed it in here, and I did two, just in case one of the seeds didn't germinate. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna dig this one up. These are chocolate sprinkles. So what I'm gonna do, since both of them came up, I'm gonna take this one up, dig it up, and gonna put it somewhere else in the garden. But this is what I use. I use a little cloche from the Dollar Tree, and I put some garden pins in it and covered it up, and that's the winter sown tomato. Now, winter sowing is like when you sow, like you get volunteers in your yard. Now, I've never gotten volunteer tomatoes, but as I've been going around and, you know, tending to my garden, I found a couple of volunteer tomatoes. I didn't even plant them. But that is the same process of winter sowing. When you leave it outside, they self-seed. They go through all the elements, the water, the snow, the, you know, whatever. And then at the right time, they pop up. That's what happened here. Let me show you a couple of them in the garden. Here's a tomato here. Now, I recognize what it is, of course, because I grow tomatoes every year. And I'm like, that's just a free plant that I got. And then over here, I was harvesting my kale. And look, volunteer tomatoes. I did not plant them. Didn't fertilize them, didn't water them, didn't watch them, didn't do anything. And there I have a couple of plants. Do I know what they are? No. But I like surprises in my garden, so I am gonna dig them up and pot them up and put them to work. So people, if you are a new gardener, because I know we got a lot of new gardeners out here, please trust the process. Everything is not gonna be a-okay every time, but trust the process. Now, like I said, I am not new to gardening. I've been gardening for quite a while, but I am new to gardening a lot of the plants that I'm gardening now because of the pandemic and the food shortage and stuff, I challenged myself to grow outside of my comfort zone. So in growing outside of my comfort zone, I am learning the ups and downs of gardening with different things, but also I am learning how to be a better, more efficient gardener through the whole process. So I do not want you to be discouraged. Do not be discouraged about pest pressure, where you have pests and they're eating up your plants and stuff. That is an opportunity for you to learn what the pest is and learn how you can control the pest. And if something doesn't grow well, you have seasoned gardeners, you have farmers where they have good years, and then one year comes and they have crop failure. They don't stop farming. So don't stop growing. Continue to grow. Continue to challenge yourself, because growing in your garden is also growing you. It's growing you with patience. It's growing you with understanding and so many other things. So be encouraged. Keep growing. Grow something. If you don't have the yard space, you may not have a large yard like me. Get a container, put some soil in it, stick a seed in the ground, and grow something. So thank you for coming by the Garden of Deaton. If you have not subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button and hit the notification bell so when I load up another video, you can come and hear me. Yes, and you can come be a part of our little community. And then you can give me a comment, share a suggestion with me that you think that some of us could try and benefit from. I really appreciate you for coming. Thank you. And if you are on Facebook, I also have a Facebook Garden of Deaton Facebook page. Go over there and we share a lot of gardening tips and advice. We have a lot of gardeners on there of different levels, and they are more than happy to help you whatever issue you have in your garden. So peace out and have a blessed day and grow something.